Now, I've been meaning to make a video on this for a while, and I'm sorry for not getting it to it sooner because for me, manga is king. Okay, manga is king, ladies and gentlemen. You guys obviously know this. I am a big time manga collector. I have a ridiculous amount of manga at my disposal, and I'm adding to it literally every week. And I even have my own manga channel. So if you guys aren't subscribed to that, make sure to go subscribe to Hypnotic Manga on YouTube. It's one of my, it's where I showcase my stuff and positivity. But ladies and gentlemen, there is an article here from Bounding Into Comics that has caught my attention, and shout out to Leon for covering this. It says Japanese Communist Party seeking to file former United Nations complaint regarding manga featuring sexy female characters.
Son of a bitch!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Japanese Communist Party is trying to advocate for the removal of sexy female characters from manga because for them, it's the same as the Communist Party here in the United States, okay? They're called the extreme left. They try to have a different name so that nobody knows they're communists, but ultimately we know that they're communists. That's what they are, that's what they do, and that's what they advocate for. They're trying to remove sexy female characters for the same exact reason that the communists here in the United States are trying to remove sexy female characters. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. It says, in sadly proving that the ongoing war against creative freedom is not just limited to entertainment in the West, it appears the Japanese Communist Party is preparing to file a formal complaint in United Nations regarding the continued depiction of sexy women in Japanese magazines and manga. Now, sexy women in Japanese magazines and manga, this has been a thing since like the fucking dawn of time. Like it's been a thing. Like I don't see you actually being able to change any of this. I just worry about the fact that will they censor it here in the US? That's what has me worried. Will they censor it here because it's something that people are already dealing with censorship as it is, right? We have to deal with all of our entertainment being censored. We have to deal with every single female character being made for the trans gays now instead of actual characters that people are going to like to see and want to see. Every character has to look like a trans female just because trans females can't actually have, for the most part, hips or butts or boobs or whatever the case may be. So they got to make everything look androgynous and like a 12-year-old boy in order for the trans gays to feel validated. That's the biggest issue we have going on right now. But the Japanese don't care about that, at least not yet anyway. And we are hearing a lot of discussions about Japanese getting woke, unfortunately, because they've been listening to the Western developers. They've been listening to Western entertainers, and it's a problem. Do not listen to us. Our people who represent us in the mainstream are all stupid. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're just focused on DEI as a religion. It says the party's latest political play was first revealed on March 18th, courtesy of Masato Nakayama, a user on the Japanese open blog website Together. I scanned a QR code in the Shimbun Akahara, the local newspaper publication of the Japanese Communist Party, and looked at the survey being conducted by Japanese feminist organization, the New Japan Women's Association, wrote Nakayama as machine translated by Deep L. It seemed that they were conducting a survey about magazines. The question was, were there any magazines in the store that you were interested in, such as adult-oriented magazines? However, far from just actual pornographic adult magazines, many of the titles listed for selection in the survey were manga magazines for both younger shonen and older seinen male demographics, the latter of which tend to include photo shoots of real-world female models, including Akira Shoten's Weekly Shonen Champion, Shueisha's Weekly Young Jump, and Hakusensha's Young Animal, the last entry perhaps best known as the home magazine of the late Kentaro Miura's Berserk, man. Shout out to Berserk, man. I'm collecting the hardcovers right now. I'll update you guys with a picture once I have everything, but I've made space. I bought a new bookcase, all that good stuff. Anyway, let me not get into it. But the reason for this survey, to help the Japanese Communist Party file a formal complaint with the United Nations regarding the continued allowance of sexy females depiction in media. So it looks like feminism is trying to essentially ruin Japan now. You know, feminism has, once modern day feminism gets their hands on anything, you can pretty much consider it ruined, or at least they're going to attempt to ruin it. Women do not like seeing men happy, okay? Especially feminist women do not like seeing men happy. That's just the truth of it. And they know manga and sexy female characters and all that stuff makes men happy and also makes women happy, mind you. A lot of women actually like characters like that. They like characters like that and they think they're cute. So I think it's ridiculous that you're trying to make it seem like a male-only thing where there's women that love sexy characters as well. So you want to make this into a man-only thing because it fits your narrative, but we all know it's just BS. In a 3-day preliminary survey, 517 stores conducted at the end of December, we found the adult magazines in convenience stores, which we thought had disappeared through our campaigns and surveys, were making a comeback in various locations, explained the Japanese Communist Party in the survey's preamble. This time, we will conduct a full-scale nationwide survey. They detailed, we will investigate whether there are adult magazines that treat women as sexual objects in convenience stores that are used by everyone regardless of gender or age, and submit a request to the convenience store headquarters with the results. We will also include a report to the United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW. Now, the funny thing to me is that these feminists never want to talk about the women that do this shit to themselves, right? The women that actually try to essentially advocate for their own sexual liberation in the sense that, you got these OnlyFans girls, you got all these sex workers, these communist parties, these feminist communist parties, they have no problems with those people because it has women exactly where they want them, right? They consider it female empowerment. And yet they have a problem with characters that are not real that look like this. They have a problem with characters like this because they view it as, oh, this is just for the male gaze. This is for the male gaze, ladies and gentlemen. Although, let's be real. Who's your majority buyer again? Who exactly is your majority customer again? Let's dial it back and really look at the numbers here and look at the overwhelming numbers that are in support of male viewers in manga, in anime, in gaming. It is a male-dominated space, and it's like that for a reason. So if you remove these characters, if you make it difficult for mangakas to have creative freedom to actually make these characters in their vision and for their audience, you're going to have a dying establishment slowly but surely, just like we have Western comics that have completely died because of what they decided to do with comics over the last decade or so. People do not want this. Nobody in the West wants this. Nobody in Japan that I know of anyway wants this. Japan loves this stuff. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, they should be able to get basically destroyed in their narrative pretty easily. I would hope that Japan's going to fight against this nonsense, but I'm hearing a lot of stories about this being slowly but surely creeping in, and it's unfortunate. Notably, this is not the first time the Japanese Communist Party has taken aim at attractive female characters in entertainment. In November 2022, Shimbun Akahata published an essay in which its author, a party member, took extreme issue with the strong male perspective in Square Enix's Dragon Quest series, particularly in regards to how it portrays its female characters. Well, you got to ask yourself a question. Is it a primarily male-dominated game? Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. Dragon's Quest is a male-dominated game. It is going to be played majority by males. What is wrong with developers doing something for the male gaze? What is wrong with that? If everything has to be done in the female gaze or in the trans gaze, what is wrong with developers doing something for the male gaze? What is wrong with mangakas and artists doing things for the male gaze? What if a mangaka wants to make a story that is for himself? What if he wants to do that? What's wrong with that? If he wants to make characters that are all sexy because that's what he likes, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? That's his own story. He's allowed to do that. Just like you guys like to say, well, you're allowed to make all these trans characters, gay characters, whatever. Fine. Go ahead. As long as you're not changing established characters and you're making your own characters, have at it. Nobody's ever going to stop you from making your own gay characters. But when you try to change established characters and try to pretend like it was always there, that's when people have a problem with it. And that's when you get called out on your bullshit. So hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, Japan continues to fight back against this nonsense because I have a lot of manga, man. I don't want to have to give it up, man. I love my manga. I really do. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.